Good morning. My up are back. Here's the plan. Focus again around the outside of the house. The gazebo roof, all of those trusses and C-purlins are in. Today, the emphasis will be on the outside edge of that roof frame, which will include a gutter on the low end of the roof that's to come. Then they have to wait for the actual roofing material, and while they're waiting, they may start doing a little bit more plastering and possibly some tiling. Speaking of tiling, around the outside edge of the pool, that of course will continue. And there'll be more work on plumbing for the outside bathroom, and possibly a little bit more done on the water release mechanism for the pool, an overflow system. Beyond that, painting. Still, I think, mostly upstairs if they're inside the house, and on the remaining areas for prime coat on the outside of the house. And more electrical, and more skirting boards. And I think the glass guys will be back today. We'll need to have another conversation with them about the glass for the shower rooms. Well, for the bathrooms, where the showers are. After that, who knows what else might come. What could possibly go wrong? We'll start here at the gazebo, and there may be some bright lights from welding, so if you're not comfortable with that, look away. I'm going to start showing it in 3, 2, 1, up here. So, just a couple of guys at the moment working on the roof, Oliver and Jay, just checking that the frame is nice and level. This is the side of the gazebo that has the lowest point of the roof, so this is where the gutter will be placed. After that, as I said, we may see, in fact they're mixing up concrete now, so I think we will see some more rendering, plastering. Tiling the gazebo will be kept pretty simple. It'll be the floor, and it'll be the columns up to a height of 1 metre. And I think that's all there'll be. And we don't want any fancy patterns or clever designs, I don't think. I think we just want something pretty simple in here. Well, what appears to be the never-ending tiling around this pool, actually sort of coming towards an end, although it'll be a long end. So, tiles getting fixed in place on this side of the bridge now, on the bridge closest to the house. So they've got to get from here just to the other side of the opposite bridge. And then they'll be done. Well, after they've done all the edges, all the small vertical bits on the edges, cutting the tiles on the edges. So we've got around about 10 days left until the little event that we want to hold around here. I think they'll be done. Mr. Rennell, our plumber, just heading back over around the outside bathroom. A lot of the focus today will be on connecting the plumbing, basically the dirty water, back to the septic tank. That connection is not in place yet, so they'll be working on that. Electrical at the start of the day is focused here in the patio area. So in the central recess we already have lights, 3 recesses left to go. Now I am told that all of the upstairs light fixtures are now in place. I'm hoping that tonight we can get a look at that. It won't be in today's video, but hopefully I can get some footage tonight that can show some or all of those rooms and the hallway with all the lights on when it's dark. Fingers crossed that I get that footage today. I am, of course, immediately wrong. Skim coat downstairs here in the sunroom. Rusty's working on this area. We'll see if I was wrong about the rest of the painting, guys. Richard is back to work on skirting boards, and he's moved out of the master bedroom, and this is Aldrian's room. So just marking out measurements here. The ones in the master bedroom are far from finished, so it looks like he's basically going around the rooms, provisionally tacking them into place, and then he'll come back and do finishing later on. Or maybe the painters will take care of that. So I was right about one of the painters at the moment. Ernie, still working around this double height ceiling area. On the outside of the house, skim coating and painting. Continuing here on the northeast corner, and this is one of the few areas left that still has the rather messy finish, with very little finishing having been done. So, a bit of catch up on this corner. Okay, I got Herwin now, and I'm in his way, who I thought was working upstairs, or is he heading elsewhere? He is working upstairs in the hallway. More of the prime coat going on here. It's a little after lunch, and we'll start here at the gazebo again. So you might be able to tell the difference where we now have a slightly lower set of beams going around the outside of the roof structure. We don't yet have anything that resembles a gutter, but there will be. And they're also still welding in various other connecting pieces, spacers really, metal spacers, just to give it a bit more strength. We also have a little bit more plastering's been done on this area below the countertop, and I think that's something else. I'll just go from a different angle and have a look. We do have a little bit of additional rendering just here, and I think they're getting ready to extend that along towards the step. It's tough for these guys today. It is hot again, but they are making good progress. So now we've got tiles fixed in place round to this, well, I call it a corner, not really a corner, on a pool that has no straight edges. And then we've got additional tiles set down but not fixed yet to here. So I reckon that takes us to 3/4 of the way around the pool. At the outside bathroom, it's too dark, even at the height of the sunny day. It's too dark to go inside, but they have punched through a hole, and we're starting to get some pipe connections. Well, they're not really connections yet, just laid in place, ready to carry that wastewater away and down towards one of the septic tanks. We have new people on site. Well, not new, they're returnees. We have a couple of guys from the team that are doing the granite surfaces. I'm not sure if they're entirely focused out here just cutting and shaping at the moment. We'll go inside and I'll see after I wander around whether I can find anything new, most likely in the bedrooms. Richard is zipping around with skirting boards. He's on to bedroom number 3. This is Alex's room. He's finished putting them in place in Aldrian's room and the master bedroom. There is still quite a bit more work to be done with them. They're not finished, but they're in. Well, the granite that they're working on is actually not for upstairs. It's for this small bathroom just off the side of the sunroom, and for one more, probably equally dark location. Yep, pretty much equally dark, and it's here inside the bathroom for the gym and spa. In fact, coming in here, just seen this. That tile has broken. I don't know if that was broken deliberately because they're going to do something else just here, or if it's just broken. Oh dear. It's 4:30. About half the guys are out of here. Half of them are not. Before we have a look around, we've got a contribution from Wally Trink, who I believe is Australian, and therefore having a pop at Australians is kind of acceptable. He says, Norm decided to hold a party. Norm was a pretty rich guy. He invited all of his friends. They all came round. The drinking began. Suddenly, the host says, there's a crocodile in my swimming pool. I'll give $1 million to anybody who jumps in. There's a big splash. And to everyone's amazement, Nigel's in the pool. He starts wrestling the croc, poking it, jabbing it, punching it, flipping it. Eventually, he strangles it, and it floats to the surface like a dead fish. Everyone's amazed. He climbs out, and the host says, I'll give you $1 million for doing that. He says, no, don't want it. What do you mean you don't want it? She says, I don't want it. What do you want? I've got to give you something. How about a new car? No, don't want a new car either. Well, I've got to do something. What do you want? He says, all I want is to know which bugger pushed me in. Right, let's have a wander around. We'll start here at the pool, where Mark and Tony and Frederick are continuing their creation of this rather oversized jigsaw puzzle around the outside edge. We're heading towards the home stretch. Now, they did say a couple of days ago, if they came in on Sunday, they'd be finished by Sunday, and today is Friday. I think they're in with a shot. Here at the gazebo, more rendering stroke plastering has continued, and this bottom edge is now done all the way to where the step begins. But actually most of the work has been going in with beams of various sorts, mostly around the outside edge of the roof and a little bit in between columns. So kind of tie beams in a way. They have been doing little bits of painting as they go, and I think that's generally been covering up some of the welding spots. Demonol said that the non-red metal is probably galvanised steel, and I've yet to check it. If it's galvanised steel, I'm sure he's quite right, that really it is only the welded areas that need the red oxide paint that protects against rust. I'll try and check that on, well, tomorrow if I can. One of the things that the guys have to be very conscious of here is the potential for this roof to be lifted during a typhoon. So if you can make out, they've now got rebar going up and over the trusses. So it's just one of the measures they're using to try and make sure this roof doesn't get ripped off. They're strengthening it in quite a number of different places. Hopefully it'll be enough. I'm sure it will. Richard is switching jobs, having spent most of the day doing baseboards, skirting boards. He's now come to help out with the roof with yet more metal. That's how Manny keeps a good control over these guys. Beats them up occasionally. Always with a smile on their faces though. This is the still very dark small bathroom off the side of the sunroom, which now has a granite top on this wash basin cabinet, the Wabaka. I'm inside the outside bathroom by the pool. So we do now have pipes in place for drainage from this area, which is the toilet, plus a water supply, and next to it there'll be a wash basin, and then outside, where we're slightly open to the elements, this is where the shower will be, and it will only be a cold shower. We were asked, do I want hot and cold, and I thought, well, for an outside shower, hot water was overkill. So fact only a cold water supply in here. So that is it for the regular day. I don't think there'll be anything more of huge significance when these guys have finished their overtime. If there is, I'll come back and get it. If there isn't, I won't. I will, as I said earlier on, try to get Papa Jess, our on-site electrician, to put on all of the upstairs lights so we can get a look at those, but that will be in tomorrow's video, most likely. So for now, that's it. Probably we'll see you tomorrow. It's about 6 o'clock, so it's not quite fully dark yet. We'll start on this side of the house, the south side. So just the 4 spotlights we've got illuminating this side of the house. Right, getting darker. So now we're on the north side of the house. And again, we've got 4 of the up and down kind of spotlights on this side. At the back of the house, oh, he's just switched them off. Just the 2 spotlights, but we will have more lighting on this side. This is going to need much more lighting to illuminate the pool and the area out here. So looking up the stairs, we haven't got the chandelier all hooked in. Well, I think it's hooked in, but it's not being controlled at the moment. So this is just looking as we start going up the stairs, and I think we can switch between warm white and cool white for some of these lights. In fact, this chandelier is connected, but at the moment there's only a couple of tubes fitted in there, so we have to wait until the rest of them are put in before we see the full effect. And that one is another one that can cycle between, well, switch between cool white and warm white. We have seen some of this before, but we didn't have all these recessed lights on the right side in place. So those are now on. Some of the lights, but not the chandelier. In fact, all of the lights over in this double height area are on, except the chandelier. This is the master bedroom. So we've got these recessed lights up here. We've got an LED strip just above this kind of floating ceiling, if you like, and then more strip lights in that highlight area. I'm not sure if that's everything we'll have in here. I think we might want a little bit more, but I'll check tomorrow to see if there are more lights. There is a light on the fan, so we could add that one in as well. The chandelier over the entrance also can switch cool white and warm white. At the moment, we can't show the other bedrooms. Not quite sure I've understood the reason behind that, but Papa Jess says no, not just now. So we'll have to come back and look at the other rooms another time. But that's quite a big chunk of the upstairs lighting.